Oh, snap. I didn't fill my water. Oh, Aggie, my little ham. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. Last minute. Oh, lots of. Good morning. I got no sleep last night. And how's everyone doing? I know this was not planned because I don't think that's the first time somebody has compared me to that South Park character too, which is kind of funny. Okay, so it's 1:30. Jeez. Okay, but I didn't go to bed till 6:30 this morning, guys. That's how it messed up for whatever reason, I literally could not sleep. I could not sleep. Sorry, I gotta take my crazy meds. I tried. Hey, I know I don't usually go live on Fridays, but you know what? My schedule is so messed up that I thought that today was Thursday. So I decided to go live anyway. Because I was like, I thought I usually go live on Thursdays and Sundays, and I thought that today was Thursday. And I was up all night till like 6:30 in the morning. And I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. So then I was like, okay, I'll just, whatever, do my like normal live, whatever on Thursday. And then I realized when I was looking at my phone this morning, I was like, wait a second. I was like, is my phone broken? And then I realized, no, my phone is not broken. I had the day wrong. It's Friday and I thought it was Thursday. Bro. Bro. Embarrassing. Yeah. Not the best. Not the best. So I hope you guys missed me. Okay. I hope that there was somebody that was like yesterday, because I usually go live on Thursdays, that somebody was like, hey, where's Blakely? Like, oh my gosh, you guys, look at how cute my dog looks right now. Yarman. Yarman. He's so cute. You guys don't even know how much I love my dogs. Like, my dogs are literally everything. Literally. Yarman. 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 They're so cute. Aw, thank you. Insomnia is trending. You know what? I heard other people say it is Good Friday. Yep. Sunday's Easter. That's why I decided it was a good time to release my Christians in Palestine video that I just released. Released as if it's like official. That I just like put up. Yarman. Melvin being his Christian name. Oh, yeah. So today's Good Friday. So, you know what's really funny is I did not know. Okay, this was like, can I tell you guys a quick story about like how I used to not know anything about like how embarrassing the Israeli regime, like the entitlement a lot? That it used to be that I remember I used to work at this pet store and my boss was Israeli, but I didn't understand what that meant back then. And he would always take holidays off and stuff. But then when I asked him if I could have Sundays off because I wanted to start going back to church, he started making fun of Christianity and said that, like, it was stupid that I wanted to have Sundays off. Now, I remember thinking that that was really fucked up at the time, but I thought it was like a one-off. I just, like, was like, "Oh, well, that's really fucked up," but, like, yeah. I did end up getting it though, because I made a big deal about it. I'm sure, if you guys have learned anything about me, it's that I will make a big deal about shit, and, I'm not I'm not shy in my, feelings and opinions. So, even though I didn't know anything, like, I didn't realize, obviously, or know at the time that that was, like, a theme. I thought it was just, like, personal to him being a jerk and a cheapskate because he didn't want me to have the day off. But yeah, I remember making a big deal about it, and then eventually, like, he did give it to me off. All right, hold on. I gotta grab my other dog. Why you leave? Why you leave? Sugar? Whose Christian name is Eggert. Come here, Sugar. Look at my little Sugar. Why are you crying? Happy Easter, Sugar. So pathetic. Hey, Longshoff. Hey, Johan. I know I usually don't go live on Fridays. But you know what? Good Friday. Good Friday. Good Friday to everybody celebrating. What was I was about to say something. Now I can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, you know what's so insane? No, no, I never go to church on Good Friday or Easter. In fact, I stopped going to church a while ago. I still very much am a Christian, non-denominational Christian, but I have issues with church, because I have issues with a lot of Christians. They piss me off. It's like it's specifically like if you grow up in America, the Christians here, so many of them are like evangelicals and they're totally full of shit. No, stop trying to run away. He tries to run away. I'm like, don't leave. My little ham. My little ham. I love my little ham. The biggest sinners. Yeah. I feel like I just lost my train of thought. I was going to share something with you guys that now I can't remember. I know. He's so cute. My dogs are amazing. Yes, please go to Twitch. Did I tell you? I told you guys, right, that I got my first payment from Twitch. That was very exciting. So, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube or X, go to Twitch. That was exciting getting my first payment from them. Yeah, and fuck YouTube. Did you guys see what YouTube did to Matt Lieb, the guy that does the Bad House Bar podcast? Hey. What's about the Schofield Bible? Did you guys see what they did? Okay, so YouTube gave him a community guideline violation for hate speech because he said Israel doesn't represent him. How insane is that? Yikes. Why you look at me like that, Yarm? Yarman. Yarman. Yeah, watch. I'll show it to you guys. It's so fucking crazy. I know. It's so crazy. Hold on. Mm. Mm. Okay. Sorry, I had to find it. Okay, so sorry. My allergies. Okay. All right. So Matt Lieb, who's a comedian, and he runs the podcast Bad Hasbara. Okay. And he is Jewish. Okay. So he did a speech where he says that no single person represents all Jews, no state represents all Jews. Okay. And YouTube gave him a community guidelines violation for hate speech. And he appealed it. And of course, they rejected it within minutes. What does that tell you? First of all, I want to know who is working at YouTube behind the scenes to make this shit happen, because this is so sauce. This is so insane. This is like next level comical joke censorship. What do you mean, him saying that the state of Israel does not represent all Jews, including him as a Jewish man, and that's hate speech? Why? Because what you're saying, YouTube, is literally anti-Semitic. Because what they're saying is, by calling it hate speech, is that he has to bow down to the Israeli regime as a Jewish person. That they must represent him, or else. The fuck? This is fucking crazy. And it's literally like, it's like the definition. There's no way to make this not anti-Semitic by claiming that in order for it to not be hate speech, he has to agree that the state of Israel represents him. Yeah, it's exactly. This is for real 1984 shit. I know, it's fucking crazy. It literally is. Like, you're telling him that as a Jewish man, he's not allowed to say that his identity is not tied to a nation state committing genocide. What? Tell me another country that gets this kind of treatment, protection. Imagine getting a hate speech violation because you criticize the United States or China. Imagine getting a hate crime violation because you said that China was an authoritarian country, or America is racist, and then you get a hate speech violation. He is a Jewish man, is saying that he does not identify with the state of Israel, and he gets a hate speech. This is fucking crazy. Meanwhile, as somebody rightly puts out, and look how immediately they just denied his claim. He appealed it, and of course they denied it. Insane. And then this account, Gato Fumador, rightly points out that Ethan Decline has not been booted off the platform, has not been given any community guidelines violations, has not been given any strikes, despite the fact that his entire channel is basically Islamophobia, racism against Arabs, racism against Palestinians, doxing people, and hate speech. But not only does he not get kicked off the platform, he's still monetized, bro. still monetized. Like, you think we don't see what you're doing? I'm sorry, my allergies are crazy. Yeah, I definitely think they're using AI monitors, but when you train your AI monitors, um, in a way to be reflective of Western society, then they're going to be censorious to anybody talking about Palestine, the AI monitors, because that they're training them based off of the West and the internal biases that are already built in here. Yay! Thank you for going. I appreciate that. That makes me happy. Oh, that's what that means? I didn't even know that that's what that meant. That's funny. So, like, how fucking crazy is that? He gets, explain to me how Ethan Decline, is out here still monetized on X, I mean, on YouTube, and so is Destiny and all the other accounts that constantly say, like, psychotic and Islamophobic shit and dox people, but he gets a hate speech violation as a Jewish person for saying that the state does not represent him. It's just so fucking crazy. Looks like they didn't even respond either. It's just so crazy. I just learned about. Oh, yeah, totally. They are. They're insane. They're insufferable. It's just that's just it's so crazy. Sorry. Oh, it's okay, Hal. Who is it, Hal? Yarman. Yeah, right. Says the guy. Charlie Kirk is such a fucking clown. Anyway, hello, hello, hello. Yeah, Koofy, I think is how it's pronounced. They're fucking deranged too. So one of the things that I wanted to make fun of, I put this in the caption, was the fight between the David Hogg and not Charlie Kirk, David Hogg and the James Carville guy in this super like ridiculous, not even real fight attempt of claiming that he's going to start. Oh, Aggie. Sorry guys, sometimes my dog does things and it's just like he's not doing anything. He's just sitting, but he's so cute that it's like he's doing something. Carville is still legally alive. Yes. But the thing that cracked me up about it is that he's having a meltdown that David Hogg mildly said that there should be some younger people in the Democratic Party and wanted to primary some of the like octogenarians, like literally. Like this is how stupid the Democratic Party is and how like people are really falling for this rodeo again that the Democrats are going to be challenged and that they're going to be primaried. I'm seeing this in the news of that Catwoman that is running for office in, I think it's Illinois, like a suburb of Chicago. And sorry, that just hurt my jaw. My jaw's fucking hurting. Anyway, I do like her, but what my point is that I feel like there is this failed attempt, to think that you're going to challenge or primary the Democratic Party when they have shown over and over and over and over again that they have no fucking interest in that. They fucking hate the left. They hate the progressives, and they will do anything to keep them out. And James Carville's meltdown the other day on Chris Cuomo's show was more evidence of that. Like, he literally had a fucking meltdown that David Hogg said that he wanted to primary some of the older Democrats in the party. Which is amazing because it's like, he's like, talk to me when you've beat some Republicans. It's like, bitch, you guys lost. Like, it's amazing to me how little self-reflection there is in the Democratic Party. There is it's amazing how little self-reflection there is in the Democratic Party. None of it is like, wow, you know what? Maybe we really should be humble and take a step back and listen because we just got our asses kicked. We just lost. So maybe we should take a step back and recalibrate and listen to what some of the criticisms are. But no. David Hogg and what's her name? That Cat Abu girl gives a mild criticism of the Democratic Party and says that there should be some new blood in the party and some primaries, and they fucking melt down and lose their shit. Again, why? Because fundamentally, how I see it now, because we already have been through this, like I said, this isn't new. This already happened. This happened in 2016 and 2018. There was an attempt by the progressives to take over the party, and it failed. So watching David Hogg and this Cap person attempt to do this again, to me, is like is deja vu. And we know how it ends. Like, I'm not trying to be a bummer. I'm not trying to be a downer, but like watching them attempt to do this to me is deja vu. And it's just like more cowbell. We've already seen this before. It's already happened before and it failed. It failed. And what's going to happen is they're going to get dragged. They're going to get attacked by the party. They're going to fall in line because that's what liberals do and progressives do. They fall in line. They're not like the Republicans, where the Republicans will like fight back and they don't care about hierarchy. The Democrats, these progressives, will get relentlessly attacked by the establishment. They'll get shivved by the establishment because the establishment Democrats always take their teeth out when it comes to anyone to their left. The Democrats are pathetic losers and weenies when it comes to fighting the Republicans, but when it comes to fighting the progressives, they take their teeth out. And so what they'll do is they're going to relentlessly attack Hogg, and they're going to relentlessly attack Cat and anybody that tries to challenge them. And because liberals and progressives are weak, they will not fight. They will back down just like Bernie backed down, just like AOC backed down, and they will get absorbed, I'm sorry, not absolved. They will get absorbed into the Democratic establishment once they fall in line. That is what's going to happen. And then the DNC is going to push some bad Obama impersonator on us in 2028. That is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, like, I'm already knowing how this is going to go. They're going to trash them, attack them. They'll back down because they're weak. And then they're going to push Pete Buttigieg or Josh Shapiro or fucking or you know, who else? Cory Booker or Beto O'Rourke or Gavin Newsom or one of those bad Obama impersonators in 2028. I'm telling you right now. You know what's crazy? Sorry, guys. I used my Nasacort today. I use Nasacort in order to control my allergies, and I took it today. It is not working. I don't know if it's because the change in the season, but damn. Yes, I mean Cory Booker. Booker the hooker. The hooker for APAC. I think my dog has to go out. You're gonna have to carry this around. So anyway, that's the reason why I can't get down with anything that's happening right now, because I know exactly how this is gonna end. Like literally, and I feel like anybody who was there for 2016 or 2020 should know exactly how this is gonna end. And it's because what has been different, you know? And again, I'm not just being a hater to be a hater. Show me what's different. What is different that David Hogg is doing or that AOC is doing than, or that Kat Abu is doing that is any different than jeez. Sorry, guys. I just used another spray. Hopefully it'll help. What are they doing that is any different than what they've done in the past that has not worked? I need to so yeah, that's why, like, again, if I hadn't been paying such close attention to what happened in 2018 and 2020, then I think maybe I'd be falling for this, but I'm not falling for it because not only did I see it happen in 2016 and 2020 and I saw it not work, I saw it fail, but also if somebody is asking you to have faith in them about something, then they need to demonstrate that something has changed. What has changed? Nothing has changed. What has changed in the progressive movement? Or, first of all, the Democrats aren't even pretending that there's going to be any reforms. Okay. The Democrats aren't even pretending. I don't know if you guys ever saw the video that I did. I was on um Greg Stoker's podcast, the Colonial Outcast podcast, and we went through the entire Democratic rebrand that they're trying to do. Nothing different. Nothing different. It's literally just more cowbell and let's move more to the right. So not only are they not planning on doing anything different, they're not planning on doing anything different than they have before. There's been no reflection. There's been no recalibration. There's been no, hey, we lost. Maybe we should reconsider such and such. So the Democrats aren't even pretending that they're going to change. But also, again, when it comes to the progressives, let's talk about people like David Hogg and Kat Abu. What are they doing that's different than what AOC and Bernie did in 2016 and 2018, or the squad? What are they doing? Nothing. Nothing. And I don't mean this to be, hate, because I think I like Kat. I think that, she's good. She's pro-Palestine and all that. But I have not seen any demonstration from him, from her, or from David Hogg, or from anyone, that they are willing to fight the Democrats. They are not willing to fight the Democrats. They're weak. Progressives are weak. The left is weak. So when when James Carville and all the Democratic apparatchiks and hacks came out and started attacking him for saying that there should be primaries, he immediately backs down. I'm going to show you the tweet he had, where it's like, instead of fighting back and being aggressive back like the Republicans are, they back down. People are attacking Kat. She kind of backs off. People are attacking David Hogg. He backs off. And then he goes on a tour to assure everybody that he's not trying to hurt the party, because they are all so deferential to power. They're all so deferential to authority and seniority. The Democratic Party, which is very strange, they're like that, because the Republicans are the authority practice. So it's crazy that like the Democrats love to like bow to authority and like bow to seniority. And so it's like, instead of David Hogg going to fucking war against these people and being like, fuck you, I'm gonna like, whatever. Not that he would be able to do that, be that aggressive, because now he works at the DNC. But the point is, when they start attacking him, he backs off. You know what I mean? Like, when they started attacking him, instead of fighting back, he backs down and goes like, oh, I'm not trying to upset the party. I'm not trying to upset the party. I'm not trying to offend the party. That is the kind of weak ass, weak sauce, weak fucking typical spineless, jelly spine, progressive, lefty, whatever. I mean, he's not a leftist, but you know what I mean? Like progressive in the Democratic Party. Weak fucking sauce. He's going to get eaten the fuck alive. And what's going to happen is he's going to get eaten the fuck alive, and then he is going to absorb himself back into the Democratic Party. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. He's going to push a little. They're going to attack him like they've been there, like they've been attacking him. He's going to back down, and then he's going to get absorbed back into the establishment. That's what's going to happen. He's going to get absorbed back into the Democratic establishment, just like AOC and Bernie. And it's because they're weak. And also the fundamental flaw is that the Democratic Party is that what they're trying to do. Oh, thank you, Johan. Yeah, shout out to my mods. Love my mods. Shout out to Johan. And thank you for that reminder that as of now, still, I am not monetized on YouTube. So the only way that I can actually earn from doing this is through Twitch. So it's slow going, but still, I have started to earn on Twitch by being an affiliate. So if you're not watching on Twitch, definitely please watch on Twitch. Also, if you do want to support my work, just what I do so that I can keep doing this, you can do so by sending me tips on Venmo or Cash App, or become a monthly patron or Ko-Fi member. Thank you for reminding me to shout that out, Johan. Yes, and watch on Twitch. I really wanna sue YouTube, like, so badly. I reached out to this lawyer, I haven't heard back from him, but, you know, kinda hoping I do. His name is I don't know his name, but it's CEO Lawyer is his handle. Trilingual lawyer. Okay, so he's an injury lawyer, but he actually won a case recently against Marjorie Taylor Greene's hateful husband. So and he's Palestinian. So I want this guy to represent me, okay? Him or he can do it. I'm gonna try to I've been trying I messaged him, he hasn't messaged me back. I'm trying to get his attention because I want him to represent me taken on YouTube. I know it says he's an injury lawyer, but he just won a pretty big case against Marjorie Taylor Greene's racist husband for going on a racist tirade against Muslim women. So why not? Why not? So anyway, if you see him, shout me out to him. If you see him on Twitter, shout me out. Be like, Blakely's looking for you. Oh, my dogs are tanning. I thought that they wanted to go out because they had to go to the bathroom. I guess they just want to sit in the backyard because it's sunny out. That's probably why my allergies are so bad, actually. Is because of the like extreme like weather change tends to happen. Oh, does anybody have any lavender powder recommendations? Do any of you guys have any lavender powder recommendations? I really want to start making my own lavender lattes and mint lattes. But a lot of the syrups I've noticed that you can try to find are like, yikes. I'll go and get one every once in a while, but they're so fucking expensive. I'm not even kidding. I went to this Yemeni coffee shop and it was great. It was great. I got a like a Yemen latte, but it was 12 fucking dollars. That's not something I can do like regularly, right? Like I was happy to support this Yemen business, but um it's not something I could do regularly. So I want to start being able to make mint and lavender lattes for the summer, but I don't know where to get a good either syrup or powder that these coffee shops use that is good. Cause like I said, I got some syrups in the winter to make like caramel lattes and chocolate lattes, and it sucked. Like the syrup was nasty as fuck. So if anybody has any recs, and like I said, shout out this lawyer. If anybody sees him or you happen to be on Twitter and see him, that I'm trying to get his attention because I want him to represent me, possibly represent me in suing YouTube because YouTube needs to be sued. Okay. Should be class action, actually. It should be class action, okay? Oh, and he also my law firm will represent anyone seriously injured during these revolutionary times. Yeah. I think it's awesome that he successfully sued Marjorie Taylor Greene's ex-husband. It's amazing. Yes, ask him, please, because I don't know. I was told that when it came to the lavender lattes, they say that they use powder. But what powder? What powder? And if they're using syrup for the mint lattes, what kind? The reason why I'm trying to be careful and I want Rex is because it can go really bad. There can be some good syrups when it comes to lattes or powders, or it can be really yikes and taste like shit. $12. Yes, it was $12 for this latte. It was crazy. I can't afford to do that regularly. Like that's crazy. It was a cool coffee shop though. Yeah, anyways, let me know if you guys see that lawyer. I want there to be either a lawsuit for me, a contract lawsuit. I wish that people would come with me and do like a class action. I want to do like a class action. That would be nice. But also I want fucking hearings. You guys saw that Google just lost an antitrust case, I'm pretty sure. I think we need some hearings, Ho. We need some hearings, Ho. Are there a lot of Yemenis in NYC? How do you pronounce it? Do you say Yemenis or Yemenis? And yes, there are. I'm gonna tell you guys a story that is embarrassing to admit, but I've told you guys before that like I definitely have it wasn't until I moved to New York that I actually realized that like I was like Islamophobic. I didn't realize that because I really never met anybody Muslim or really Arab until I moved to the East Coast. And when I moved to New York and there's a lot of Arabs and a lot of Muslims here, um, one of the first things that I remember thinking, was being scared. Yemen. No, I know it's Yemen, but I'm saying, how do you say it if you're talking about the people? Is it Yemeni or Yemeni? Anyway, there was a guy who was from Yemen who worked at my bodega, and I remember when he told me Yemeni. Okay, Yemeni. Okay, Yemeni. Right? Am I saying it right? Yemeni? And anyway, so there's this guy, this Yemeni guy that worked at my bodega that I would always get my beer from. I know you guys know that I am a alcoholic in recovery, but man, my alcoholism was fucking I was going to this bodega a lot, let me just say, and getting fucking beer there. And that's where I would also get my smokes often. And so one day I was talking to him and I was really like drunk, getting my cigarettes, and he mentioned something about being from Yemen, and I got legit scared. Like, when I say I was Islamophobic, I mean that in the actual sense of fear. Because I feel like a lot of times phobias are used, but like really, like a lot of it's like hate. People hate them, or like they hate fat people, or a lot of phobias are like hate. It wasn't like I hated them. I was legit afraid of them. Like I thought, which is Islamophobia, I thought that they all hated the West and that they all hated Christians and they all hated white people and they wanted to blow all of us up like on 9/11. Um, and so when he told me he was Yemeni, I got legit scared. I was like, "Oh, do you hate me? Do you not like me?" He was like, "What?" It was so embarrassing. It was so I look back on that, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, so embarrassing." Actually, the dictionary says it means enemy. Yeah, but even then, like, it was like I was genuinely scared. I was, like, genuinely scared. Like, it it took living here for me to confront that and realize it. I didn't even realize it. I didn't know that I was. And then I started noticing things like that. And I remember the time that it really hit me, because but at this point, I was starting to meet Muslim people, Arab people, and it's really hard to hate someone or demonize someone or be Islamophobic or whatever of anybody when you know them. When you meet people, like it's a lot harder to be, I know that it's like a cliche, but it's true. It's a lot harder to be racist and xenophobic and bigoted when you're around, when you know people. They're not just caricatures. Like, so like once I was living in New York and, meeting people from all different walks of life all over the world, and then all of a sudden like I didn't feel that way anymore. I was like, "Oh," like without thinking it, you don't think it consciously, but I was like, "Oh, like I know these people." Like, you know? That's Ari at the corner. Like, that's just Ari at the corner. And so, it really hit me. Like, I've told this story before, but, like, it really hit me when I was on the train one time going to work. I was on the G train, and I saw a guy, that was wearing a turban, so I actually think he might have been Sikh, but I was ignorant and didn't really know the difference. And he was holding a package, and it scared the shit out of me, and I thought that because he looked Arab and he was holding a package, it was a bomb. So I got off the train because I got so scared. I started, like, panicking. And then when I got off the train, once I calmed down and I realized, I actually caught myself and was like, "Bro, you just got off the train because that guy was, like, Arab looking holding a package. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's legit racist. That's, like, legit Islamophobic." And I felt really, really bad, and I remember, like, praying and, like, asking God to, like, forgive me and being like, "I'm sorry, God. That was, like, so wrong." Like, having a moment of just being like, "Wow, that was really fucked up." Like, I can't believe that I did that, that I thought that I felt that way, and I, like, tried to, like I was like, God, like, trying to, like, repent, like, "God, I'm sorry. Please, like, forgive me." And it really just, like, I don't know, that kinda changed the once I actually, like, confronted it in my own mind out loud. You know what? I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me because Yemeni coffee is some of the best coffee in the fucking world. Like Arabic coffee, Yemeni coffee, oh my gosh, it's so fucking good. I've always loved it. I've been a coffee fanatic for a long time, and I've always loved like, Arabic coffee and Italian roast coffee is my favorite. Although, I know they don't make coffee they don't grow coffee in Italy. So maybe somebody can help me out with this. Why is Italian roast coffee so good? When it's not roasted, like, it's not grown there. That blew my mind when I found out that coffee's not actually grown in Italy. I was like, "Then what is Italian roast?" Like, it's just, I guess, roasted Italian roasted, but, like, what are the Italians doing that makes their coffee so fucking good? No, bro, it's not marketing. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely love coffee, and I taste the difference in Italian roasted coffee. It's fucking delicious. Yemen is blessed with mountains, which protects it from invaders. I didn't know that. They put pepperoni in it. Anti-Italian discrimination. Is that true? Honestly, I don't know if I've ever had coffee from Asia. Usually all the coffee that I've had, that I've always had, is usually Arabic coffee, African coffee, or Latin American. I don't know if I've ever had it from Asia. Is it good? I don't know. I just know that there is something about Italian roasted coffee that is just so fucking good. It's like smooth, but it's not too smooth. It's usually like darker roasted, so it's not like overly like blonde and like it's never I love Italian roast because it's never too acidic. Some coffees are roasted too acidic and I don't like it. Like it's just always smooth as fuck. Smooth as fuck like Italians, like Italian stallions. No, I'm not. I wish I was. Honestly, I kinda wish I was because I know they say that tea is really good for you. I don't like it. I really don't. I've tried to make it happen. I've tried with the green tea and the matcha and the fucking black tea, I think it's disgusting. Like, Earl Grey makes me wanna vom. The only tea I can tolerate, and I can only really tolerate it when I'm not feeling well, is ginger tea. Chai, yeah, chai grosses me out. Now when I hear chai, I think of I'm Israel chai. Um, All right, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta let my dog in again. They're whining. You guys know how it be. This is not being a freelancer. This is being 100%. No, Ham, jacket. The best teas are by far cinnamon and lemon tea. Huh. I don't know if I've ever had cinnamon tea. Kind of sounds gross though. Cinnamon is good in coffee. Milk chai, then yeah, I don't know. I'm not a tea person. I am a coffee person. I love coffee. Absolutely love it. Okay. So I wanted to watch this James Carville clip because it's so fucking embarrassing. uh,
Work. What is your reaction to that?
Right. That is my reaction. I would also say James Carville has not won an election since before I was born.
Bro! Oh, okay. That was good. That was good. Gotta credit where credit is due. That was good. Because he's right. Like, what the fuck has James Carville done since the literal fucking 90s? Also, he's like, you call me when you won an election against a Republican, man. How about you call us when you beat Trump? Like, I'm amazed at the level of entitlement of the Democrats when these hoes couldn't even beat Trump twice. Twice they lost to Trump. Did you guys just see that? There were balloons behind me. What the fuck was that? Did you guys just see that on my screen? Did I imagine that? Am I insane? What was that? There were balloons that went behind me like it was fucking it. Call us when you figure out. Yes, Pennywise, exactly. Call us when you figure out your smartphone, lol. No, I'm not using Zoom. I'm using StreamYard. That kind of scared me. That like a little bit got low-key scared me. Like what was that? It's not my fucking birthday. Yes, I am on Twitch, but I don't think that Twitch did. Twitch has never done anything like that. I've never seen something come up on my screen like through streaming on Twitch. What kind of question is this, bro? Embarrassing. Yes, actually, yes. Since you rudely are asking, yes, I have gained weight. Yes, I have. Um, insane that you're even asking, that you're asking me this. Like, what? That's fucking crazy. Like, why are you asking me about my weight? What does that fucking have to do with my content? Literally. I'm not a weight loss influencer. So why does it matter? In fact, I'm actually pissed now that you bring it up and you've triggered me because I have been on tirzepatide for a year and I haven't lost any weight. I actually gained weight on this. So I think that I'm being ripped off because I was on the compounded tirzepatide. So being on the compounded tirzepatide, obviously you don't need a prescription. You just go through these pharmacies. And I think I'm being ripped off because there's no way. It makes zero sense that I would not only not lose weight, but that I would actually gain weight. Being on this compounded tirzepatide makes no sense because we know for a fact that this medication works. People all over the fucking world, all over the country use it. Doesn't matter what their history is. It literally works for everybody. Everybody's lost weight on it. So the fact that I've been on it for over a year, I started in March of last year. The fact that I've been on it for over a year and I've not the fact that I've been on it for over a year and not just on it for over a year, but that I've not only not lost weight, I've gained weight is crazy. Like being on this shit for over a year and not just not losing weight, but gaining weight is fucking wild. So I think that I must be being scammed. I must be being scammed. Like, I don't think, like, what I'm saying is, I think they're diluting it. I don't think that they're actually giving me like the tirzepatide that they should be giving me that other people take that causes them to lose weight. I think I must be getting scammed. They must be diluting it because there's just no fucking way. But anyway, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. It's rude that you even brought that up. It's actually rude. No, I know. No, it's not just the lighting. I actually have gained weight, but it's actually rude that you're even bringing it up. It's just wild to me that people think that it's like their place to lecture people on how they eat and their weight. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy to me that I mean the fact that people are commenting on my weight and discussing it and like how I've gained weight and this and that is just fucking crazy. Like I don't make lifestyle content. I don't make content about weight. So why are you talking about my fucking weight? Like it's just rude. Don't comment on people's weight that don't fucking ask. You know what it is too? It's boomer shit. It's boomer shit. Like how boomers will always comment on your weight and how much you eat and be like, why are you putting salt on your food? You should really watch your weight. It's like boomers never fucking got the social cues that it's inappropriate to comment on people's weight and the way that they eat. Like it's such boomer shit. No one fucking asked. Yeah, boomers do that all the fucking time. They always do that, commenting on people's weight, commenting on how much they eat, like it's just crazy. And I get that it was something that was normalized back then. Like it was very normal in the 80s and 90s and when they were like in their early 20s or whatever to talk openly like that. But it's actually really like not okay. It's actually really rude. If I ask somebody for their advice about my weight, like I'm asking for advice about powders where so I can make my own lattes, then give me advice. But I'm not asking for anybody's fucking advice on my weight, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna kick them out because they're obviously not getting it. Yeah, I'm going to because they're not getting it. They're still being rude, and I'm like over it. Johan, can you kick them out? Kick them out of the chat. You can temporarily do it. You can temporarily ban them. They don't have to be banned forever, but they need a temporary ban because that's just rude. They need to learn how to be not rude. No, because that's not what we're talking about right now. It's not about being sensitive. I get criticized and attacked all fucking day, every day. It's not like I don't know how to be attacked. I'm attacked all the fucking time. Try looking at my fucking DMs. It's that I'm not in the mood. Oh, I thought you were, Johan. It's fine. I'm not in the mood on a day where we're just hanging out and we're talking about the DNC to be dealing with this shit, okay? All right. Anyway. No, you know what? I shouldn't have let myself get distracted by that. Honestly, I shouldn't have let myself get distracted. I think I'm just gonna be so for real right now. Like, it just triggered me because I already have issues and have always had issues with food. I've always had an eating disorder. So dealing with that's one of the reasons why I was on tirzepatide. It wasn't just about trying to lose weight. It was also about like, there's evidence and it works on people where it helps them control like mental issues associated with eating disorders and food noise and things like that. So that was the other reason why I was on it. And so like something I've struggled with my entire life, dealing with, mental illnesses and eating disorders, and knowing that like I've been on this medication for over a year trying to control like the food noise that I have and the issues that I have around food and weight gain and trying to lose weight and then gaining weight. So it's like that just like pissed me off, but whatever. I'm getting over it. All right, moving on.
I think it's time to have new
It is also funny though, because it is true that they're like, when he needs to call when he won a Democratic primary against blah blah against a Republican or then an election against a Republican. But then it's like, bro, yeah, again, why don't you call us when you actually beat Trump? Imagine getting like imagine being like, oh, we're gonna oh, what's the word I'm looking for? We're gonna be all smug after we've had our asses kicked by Trump. Oh, him! Like, imagine having that attitude. Like, your ass was beaten by Trump. You guys should have some fucking humility. That's actually what I can't deal with. That I find so funny about Blue MAGA and Libs is that there is no humility on their part, even though they lost. They just cry and whine and they blame the left and they blame. Ugh, who is calling me? Oh, I think it's about my appointment. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. This is the assistant studio manager calling from 10 Williamsburg location.
Hi.
How's your day so far?
Good, thank you.
Perfect. Alrighty, I was just giving you a call because Dr. Matthew McDonald did let us know that you had a bit of concerns about the multiple doctors for this one set treatment that's prolonging.
Yeah, so basically my concern was that like they told me I have to see 4 different, like they want me to see I saw the endodontist, I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but then I saw the orthodontist, and then the orthodontist told me that I need to see a specialist for TMJ and also a oral surgeon about my bite and about my wisdom teeth. So that's 4 different specialists and it just feels very overwhelming.
So the doctor did go ahead and take some extra steps to find a doctor that we do have Chelsea. The doctor's name is Dr. Tarani, who is able to do multiple of those things that you just named. So instead of having multiple doctors, we'll basically cut that into two. So the doctor will basically be doing everything except for the oral surgery half. That will be done with an oral surgeon. So that basically cuts all of the doctors down for you. I do see that you're booked to come in Saturday the 19th for 2:10. Dr. McDonald does want you to keep that appointment if you would like, so you can come in and have that final conversation with him, and then we'll see which way you want to move forward.
Okay. Yeah. I plan on being at that appointment tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so then we'll see you here tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. Wasn't that fun, you guys, watching me complain and talk on the phone to my fucking dentist? Wasn't that fun? You guys, it's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, and people will be like, go to Mexico. I can't, like, it's not that simple when you have work that you need to have done. Like a lot of work that you need to have done consistently. Like you can't just like, I can't just like go to Mexico for a day. Oh, nothing. I got a phone call from my dentist, like reminding me of my appointment tomorrow and telling me like about the 4 different fucking specialists that I have to see about my fucked up teeth. Anyway.
Leaders in our party that are ready to meet this moment, because a lot of the people that are most critical of this plan are the same ones that had $2 billion to win an election and still lost. So I think the experts can save it because it's time for some new ideas.
The well-known Democratic strategist James Carville said in response.
That's actually a really good response. I know I just got done talking about how like weak and feckless he probably is and progressives in general, but that was actually a very good response. Got to give him credit where credit is due, folks, because that was good. When was the last time James Carville won an election? Was before he was born. And he's right. These hoes had $2 billion to win an election and they fucking lost again to Donald Trump. Shut up. Like, well, literally, when is there going to be some self-reflection? You bitches lost again to Donald Trump. Shut the fuck up. But again, even though I appreciate that clip, and he's right, he's absolutely right. Again, the fact still remains that the Democratic Party is not going to be reformed. Again, that might be a good clip, and I do appreciate it. It is fun, but the Democratic Party is not going to be reformed. They will shiv him, and they will shiv Kat, and they will shiv anyone who attempts to move the party at all to the left. They will shiv anybody who attempts to move the party to the left. Hear me again. Because the Democratic Party is a corporatist right-wing party, and they would rather lose to a fascist Republican than to allow a progressive to win. That is a fact that they continue to demonstrate over and over again. That is a fact that they would rather let a fascist Republican win than a progressive. So they will not be reformed. The one thing that James Carville said that I will agree with in his little crybaby rant on Chris Cuomo is that the progressives should break off, you know? They should break off into their own party. Because why do you keep trying to appeal to a party that hates you? I may be able to help. I'll DM you about it. Oh, I don't know what you're referring to, but if you are, DM me on Twitter. Because I don't think that there are DMs on Twitch. I don't think. I think that if they were being serious, they would need to break off onto their own party because the Democrats, again, they hate the progressives so fucking much. The corporate Democrat, the Democratic Party, the machinery of the DNC fucking hates the left. They hate the progressives. I'm not even talking about leftists, communists and socialists who they despise. I'm talking about They hate people that are even slightly left of liberals. They hate progressives. So, you know, the only way that I see this improving or being successful for somebody like it's not going to be successful, but the only way I would see this actually improving is if David Hogg and people like Kat broke off from the party and started their own party, because the DNC is a corporate, fascist adjacent, right-wing party and organization that will not be reformed and will not learn lessons. Again, you'll remember that there was a commission after the 2016 election, like a reform commission. Nothing came out of that. Nothing came out of that. They still have super delegates and shit. They still fucked over Bernie in the 2020 primary. So they had a reform commission after 2016. Then in 2020, they literally sabotaged the fucking entire fucking primary in order to stop Bernie Sanders. They will not be reformed. They are a corporate, fascist adjacent, right-wing party that would rather lose to a fascist Republican than allow somebody to the left of Amy Klobuchar to win. So no, this is not, I'm not trying to be a dick, but this is not going to be successful. It's not going to be successful. They will not be reformed. And like I said, is it possible that there could be a hostile takeover? Like, yeah, fuck you, we're going to take over the party anyway. Well, yeah, it's possible because the Republicans did it with the Republican Party. The MAGA did it with the Republican Party. But they're fighters in a way that the left is not. That's why it worked. It worked because the Republicans don't bow to authority the way that the Democrats do, which is really funny because they are authoritarian. Republicans are cultists and they are authoritarian and they do fall in line behind their leader. But when it comes to the way that the mechanisms of the parties work, the Republicans will actually buck their own party. They do things like creating the Freedom Caucus and ousted their own speaker multiple times. You don't see that in the Democratic Party. They appeal to authority. They are reverent to authority. They care about hierarchy. They care about seniority, who's been there the longest, whose turn it is. The Democrats love to talk about whose turn it is, who's in leadership, who's been there the longest, who has the most seniority. And so that's another reason why it's not going to work, because the Republicans were able to do a hostile takeover. MAGA was able to do a hostile takeover because they had the attitude of they didn't fucking care about hierarchy. They didn't fucking care about leadership. They didn't fucking care about seniority. And they took it over. The liberals and the progressives, I'm talking about people like David Hogg, like AOC, like Kat, like all these people, they do not have it in, like Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman, and all the other progressives, Marie Newman, all of these people, Allison Hartson, who tried to run, they don't have it in them to be the vicious partisans that they would need to be in order to take over the Democratic Party the way that the right did. So it's not going to happen. They're going to get viciously attacked by the Democratic Party. They're going to get shivved 9 ways to Sunday, and then they're going to back down. That would be my prediction. They're going to get viciously attacked. This is their attempt, again, for the third time. This is their attempt, the progressive attempt, for the third time to do something about the Democratic Party, to reform the Democratic Party in any meaningful way. And what is going to happen is exactly what happened the first 2 times. They're going to get shivved 9 ways to Sunday by the establishment Democrats and the corporate Democrats, and then they are going to back down, because that's what progressives do. That's what the left does. That's what, when I say left, I'm talking about left as far as it can go in the Democratic Party. They're going to back down, and then they're going to get absorbed into the Democratic Party, the Democratic establishment. If they want to survive, they're either going to get kicked out like Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman did, or they're going to shut the fuck up like AOC did and get absorbed into the establishment. Those are your 2 options if you're a progressive. If you, but what the balloon again? What is happening? What is happening? I don't understand. Anyway, That is literally what's going to happen. Because again, I'm not just saying this, I'm talking about experience. Like the experience of watching this happen twice already, of watching progressives attempt to get some reforms in the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party attempting to get some reforms in the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party turning around and literally crushing them. That is what is going to happen. It's what happened in 2016. It's what happened in 2020. Progressives attempted to get some reforms, and the Democratic Party turned around and fucking crushed them. And again, the ones who tried to fight back, like Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush, were ousted from the party. Same with Marie Newman. Oh, same with Katie Porter. Katie Porter was another one, a progressive who tried to be a little bit more aggressive, who tried to fight back, who tried to take on the establishment a little. They ousted her. And then you have AOC as an example, who was somebody who basically is a chameleon and then absorbed herself into the Democratic establishment in order to stay safe and to stay in the party. So that's what's going to happen. Sorry to let everybody down, to rain on everybody's parade. I understand what David Hogg is trying to do. I understand what Kat is trying to do. I understand what there's a guy, I'm forgetting his name. He's a doctor. Dr. is it Saeed, who's now running for Senate. Lucas Kuntz tried to run as a progressive and got crushed by the Democratic establishment. So that's what's going to happen. Well, I mean, most of you guys, if you're in my chat, you're probably to the left of the Democratic Party, so you don't think it, but there are people that are getting excited about it, that think that there's going to be some reform in the Democratic Party, and that think that the progressives are going to take this on, are going to take on the establishment. They're not. They're not. They're literally not. They're not going to. If they try, like I said for the last time, if they try, like David Hogg seems like he's trying to do, he will get crushed. He's either going to get driven out of the party, or he's going to capitulate, bend the knee, and get reabsorbed into the establishment. That's what's going to happen. Because again, I'm not just making this up. I'm taking this from experience the last 2 times it happened. And then the other people are, and by absorbed into the party, I mean, is like, look at the oligarchy tour that AOC and Bernie are doing. They're not challenging the Democrats. Not at all. When they tried to, that's the reason why the media isn't attacking them. The media always attacked Bernie and AOC, but they're not attacking them now because they know that they're toothless and feckless and that they've been absorbed into the Democratic Party and that they're not threatening the Democratic Party. What about this take on oligarchy tour is threatening to the Democratic establishment? It's not. Nonetheless, it was still a good answer. Wait, is this it?
No, David Hogg is vice chair of the DNC.
Yeah.
He was a survivor of the Marjorie Douglas Stoneham catastrophe, apocalypse, whatever you call it, mass murder. And he is a young, but very progressive, in a hurry young man, fine. And he is trying to raise money to primary other Democrats. All right, now wait a minute. Let's get this straight. He is the vice chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and he is talking about raising $20 million to primary other Democrats. Well,
yeah. You're losing. You're literally losing. Why are you upset that he's saying that they should primary other Democrats? You're losing. I love how he thinks that there's no reflection that needs to be had. There's no reflection that needs to be had. There's no change that needs to happen. He is outraged that David Hogg wants to primary other Democrats. He is outraged that David Hogg wants to primary other Democrats. You're losing. Look inward. Do something different. Also, it's amazing how much the Democratic Party hates democracy. It's amazing. It's amazing how much Democrats get angry when people try to do democracy. You don't want a primary. You didn't want a primary Joe Biden. You didn't want to have a primary with Kamala. Now you're angry that David Hogg wants a primary. Skeletor fucking Democrats that are 80 and 90 years old that haven't done shit in 100 years, that are corrupt as fuck, that are taking fucking money from all the most corrupt people. And you're mad about that. It's like, why do you guys hate democracy? It's amazing.
When I look at the DNC, ideally it should be an organization that's trying to beat Republicans, not other Democrats. And if you want to have a kind of...
So you want the organization to only be in the business of beating Republicans and other Democrats, even if all the Democrats are losing, and even if all the Democrats that you're talking about are losing and 100 years old. And by the way, I don't believe him for a fucking second, because where was this energy when they were primarying Jamal Bowman? Jamal Bowman got primaried. You didn't see any of the establishment Democrats stand up for him. You remember when Jamal Bowman got primaried? Same with Cori Bush. Where was the energy to defend them? All of a sudden, they were like, oh, well, we're going to be hands off. Where was the defending incumbents then? Where was that energy then? Isn't it interesting that it's all about, how dare you challenge Democrats that are 96 years old, that haven't showed up for a vote in like a decade because they're 100 and they're corrupt as fuck. Don't ever challenge them. But then when it was Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush being primaried by Zionists, there wasn't any of that incumbent energy then. There wasn't any, hey, what happened? Hey, we got to defend our own. Why are you guys primarying Democrats? Where was that energy? Where was the energy for, hey, why are you guys primarying Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman? Weird it wasn't there.
Squad thing where you go, they never run against Republicans. Understand that. The squad never, ever runs against a Republican.
With the exception of AOC.
Yeah, that wasn't the point of the squad. That wasn't the fucking point.
Who did she run against?
You know, she ran against a bunch of Republicans in the congressional elections last. She helped
up to plus 30. But I think
she helped to come.
No, and this is embarrassing too, because it's like what you're saying is, old fart, is that nothing should ever change. That's what he's saying. Nothing should ever change. There should never be like a software update. It's so funny. The Democratic Party, I actually think that James Carville is a great representation of the Democratic Party, because they're so old, and not just physically old. Their party is a shell. It's an old rickety shell. So he actually is a great representation of the Democratic Party, an old rickety machine shell that doesn't do anything except for uphold the status quo. Like, that's really all they do. It's really all they do. It is an old, rickety, decrepit shell that does nothing except for protect their old, rickety shell incumbents and protect the status quo.
No, No, but your point's right.
That she doesn't. When you're in a plus 30 Democratic district, I just don't pay attention to it. I understand that, and somebody's got to win. But when you're talking about using the power of the DNC, whatever power it has, it's not very much, but you're using that, and we're paying Democratic donors, they're paying David Hogg's salary, they're paying David Hogg's staff, and he wants to run against other Democrats. Well, that's America. Run against who the fuck you want to, but don't resign your position. Have guts, man. Have guts. Stand your ground. And I don't think that I don't think that's part of the Democratic coalition. I don't think they're redeemable. I don't think they want to be redeemed. Then I go back to the instance of something called American Voices.
How is it brave to just capitulate and do exactly what the Democratic establishment wants you to do? How is that brave? And what do you mean be redeemed? This is what I mean when I say that they should, if they actually really wanted to do something different, they should break off and form their own party. Because why is James Carville, who is allegedly in the same party as David Hogg or AOC or any progressive, saying that they don't want to be redeemed? Redeemed? Are they supposed to be asking for your forgiveness? Like, that's the level of hate that Democrats have for progressives. That's the level of hate and disdain that Democrats and liberals have for progressives. They're saying that you need to be redeemed.
That is supported by mainstream Democratic groups that had 12 at a meeting this month, April of this year, where they had bowls of buttons where you could put your pronoun and wear your button. I don't think these people get it. I don't think they ever will get it. And I've said this before, and I'll say it now. I think we ought to think about just having a schism. I think these people should get their own party. Don't call it anything Democratic. Call it the Socialist Union, Urban Justice Community Unity Party of the whatever.
Right.
And then after the election, maybe we can have negotiations, or you can, vote for a Democrat to be the.
Despite the fact that he's having a meltdown and defending this insane corruption, I actually don't think that's a bad idea. I think that actually that makes sense. The Democrats, once again, fucking hate the progressives, actually despise them. So why not just break off and form your own party? They hate you, and they're basically Republicans. The Democrats are, and I'm being so fucking serious when I say this, the Democrats are what the Republicans were in the early 90s. That's what the Democrats are. So the progressives, instead of continuing to beg the Democrats for attention and for a seat at the table and getting punched in the mouth, why don't they just go set up their own table?
Speaker, if we win. But I actually think that it might be at a point where there are certain elements in a Democratic coalition that we just can't live in the same room with these people, because they actually learned nothing from 2024.
Oh my gosh, the projection! We can't be in the same room with these people. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. Again, he's like, oh, it's amazing. He has so much more disdain for them than they have for any fucking Republican. Listen to the way he said that. I'm going to run that back. He said, you can't even be in the same room as these people. That's how much he fucking hates the progressives. This is crazy. So it shows you, once again, the disdain they have, because they don't even talk about Republicans like that. They don't talk about Republicans like that. That is a level of fucking disdain. We don't even need to be in the same room with these people. We don't even need to be in the same room with these people. Level of disdain they don't even have for the Republicans, okay? Level of smoke they don't have for the Republicans. But also, I love how fucking delusional and out of touch he is that he goes, they haven't learned anything from 2024. What do you mean they haven't learned anything from 2024? Bitch, 2024 was on you. You got, first of all, the level of out of touch. You haven't learned anything from 2024. What if you learned from 2024? You're the one that should be reflecting. on what happened in 2024. You're the one that should be reflecting on what happened on 2024. You're the one that fucking lost it. Was the left the one that ran in 2024? Was it the progressives that won in 2024? No. It was the DNC and your hack grifter consultants, people like you because you're a grifter consultant. It was grifter consultants like you and like the fucking Uber lobby and everything else running grifter consultant campaigns, spending tens of millions of dollars on bullshit ads to run a failed neoliberal campaign where you ran to the right. How is that on David Hogg or the progressives? Literally, though, tell me, how is what happened in 2024 a weak sauce, neoliberal, right wing, let's kumbaya with fucking Liz Cheney and brag about how we're going to be tough on the border and have a lethal military running so fucking far to the right in this neoliberal ass grifter consulting campaign? How is that on the progressives? Look inward. Oh my gosh, unfucking believable.
They learn nothing from history, and they are hell-bent going this direction. And maybe what we need to do is say, you go, people, go ahead, go, and then we'll see you the Wednesday after the election.
The only thing that I'm agreeing with him on is his takeaway, which is that they should split off. And yes, after the election is over, then they can build coalitions together. After the election is over, they can work together, build coalitions together. But the progressives should split off. That's the only part I agree with. Other than that, he's fucking delusional. He's literally delusional. And he's blaming the progressives who have no power in the party for everything that they did. He's blaming the progressives for shit that he's blaming the progressives for shit that the neoliberals and people like him are responsible for. It is the neoliberals, the corporatists, the right-wing Democrats, the consulting grifting class. It is them that is responsible for what happened in 2024. And he turns around and blames progressives who have no power. Like, what?
And do as they do in parliamentarism. But I'm not sure that the great Democratic Big Tent coalition that I've spent all my life trying to cobble together, or keep together, or something like that. Maybe David Hogg and American Voices need to get their own party.
James, I'll just add one thing. I think you might have too, the Democrats should have elected Ben Wickler of Wisconsin as party chair. They didn't. They picked a guy named Ken Martin from Minnesota, who by all rights is a fine fellow. We'll see now whether Ken Martin has any cojones. Right. Because if he doesn't do something about David Hogg, if he doesn't make clear to all donors, don't give a goddamn cent to whatever this guy's doing, and doesn't bring him in and to the woodshed and say, knock this crap off or get the hell out of your job. He was elected, but I mean, he's the party chair. Party chairs don't have much power. This is something where he can exercise authority. And we'll see if he does.
Absolutely. I'm glad he lost the party chair, because if he would have been the party chair, we would have won Wisconsin by 8, not 10. Well, and that's pretty high praise to be worth 2 points in a
That's true.
state.
And
That's so insane. They're so fucking delusional. First of all, again, just the way the guy talks about it, that the contempt that they have, the contempt that the older generation, the boomer generation of Democrats have for the younger ones is insane. It's insane. The way that this guy, the contempt that he talks about it with, but also the delulu of thinking that like the more right wing you go, the better you're going to do. You guys are delusional. Explain to me then why like Bernie and AOC are getting massive crowds in fucking red states. You guys are so embarrassing. Absolutely no fucking self-awareness, no fucking self-reflection, no fucking self-awareness. Unbelievable. Contempt and delusion.
Let me tell you, that ain't no minor praise, man.
James, the two best party chairs, we agree on this, are Ben Wickler and Susan Swecker. Right. Both are stepping aside now. Right. And I just hope they have successors in place who are anywhere near as good as they are.
That's part of their job, is to groom people. And that's right. They did. But maybe Ben and Susan and some of us got to have one party, and maybe David Hogg and American Voices, good God, can have their own party. And then we can come together after the election.
Good God. I just think it's funny that they're more upset about the idea of like progressives existing than the right wing. Like they literally are like, you don't see them being so horrified by Republicans. You really don't. You don't see them being horrified by like the right wing fascists. You see them being horrified by like progressive liberals. Okay, we're not even talking about fucking leftists. We're not even talking about people that are actually really on the left. We're talking about like sock Dems, like social democrats, like David Hogg, who's not radical by any fucking stretch of the imagination. He's still a capitalist. He's still a fucking imperialist machinery, American empire lover. But the fact that he's even like slightly social democratic in his views, James Carville can't handle it. It's incredible. It really is. I just got cold again. Actually, no. No. It's actually amazing. I could make a brown sugar shake and espresso. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Oh, I shouldn't have put my computer down like that because I don't want facts about cats coming in here to start making more comments about my weight. So there's a book coming out. It's about to be released called Genocide Bad, and I got an early copy of it, so I'm reading it right now, and it's really good. It's a side note. I got it from the author, you know, not trying to brag, low key, but I got like an advance, like a copy of it. It hasn't come out yet. It comes out on the 22nd by Sim Kern, Genocide Bad. So yeah, I'm reading it right now. Yeah, exactly. I think that a lot of people feel this way. If there were actually like a serious attempt at reform, leaving the party, starting their own thing, I think a lot of people, including myself, would be willing to give it a look and possibly support it. But I'm done supporting Democrats because for all the reasons that I've explained on this hour-and-a-half stream so far, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to change. They're always going to capitulate and bow to the Republicans and the establishment Democrats, which are basically Republicans of the 90s. They're not going to do anything different. And so I'm not giving them money. I'm not going to support them so that they can just sheep herd more people into the fucking corporatist duopoly. So yeah, if they were to like actually break off and be serious and form their own party that was actually really like on the left, then I could get down with that, but that's not happening. So yeah, so I'm done supporting them. Like I'm tired of the okey doke. Well, obviously, Brian, it would have to be if let's say theoretically they actually broke off from the Democrats, which is not going to happen, but let's say that they did and they formed their own party. It would be hard line on Palestine. Because yeah, I would absolutely not support a fucking Zionist. No. No, that would be a hard red line. Because honestly, that was kind of what did it for me too, because I feel like with a lot of things I was willing out of desperation to just like be like, okay, like I hate Joe Biden. I didn't want to vote for Joe Biden. I was mad at the Democratic Party for cheating Bernie again in 2020, but I'll vote for him. You know, I'll compromise, like whatever, like I'll just do it, you know, whatever. But like after this happened, after the genocide, I'm like, no, I'm not compromising with you hoes anymore. I'm not. You guys are psycho. You're genocidal. You literally greenlit genocide for fucking 15 months, normalizing it, allowing it to be where it is now. It wouldn't be where it is now without them. Gaslighting people. Yeah. So after watching that, unless there was like a real break off from this from this party in a form of a new party, an anti-genocide, anti-colonial party. Yeah, I'm not gonna support them anymore. Like, I'm done with their asses at the federal level. And I think it's a combination of both those things. It was a combination of, like, tired of seeing the Lucy in the football routine and watching them run to the right, move further and further to the right every fucking election cycle and capitulate to the Republicans, and never, ever, ever move to the left. Their contempt for the left. They hate the left. Like, even if we're putting Gaza aside, let's pretend for a second, and I wish this was true, obviously it's not, that the genocide had never happened. The fact that we keep giving them their votes when they hate us, why are we doing that? Why would I continue to do work for the Democratic Party and give them my vote and my hard-earned money when they talk about us like this? They fucking hate us. They absolutely fucking hate us. So why would I keep doing that? So it was a combination of both those things. It was like looking at it like, I'm not going to continue to do this. I'm not going to continue to vote for the lesser of two evil. I'm not going to continue to vote for the lesser of two evil of a party that does a Lucy in the football routine every single time, that continues to move to the right, that says vote for us or else, that holds us hostage and goes, sure, we're moving to the right and we're becoming more and more like the Republicans, but you need to vote for us or else you'll lose even more of your rights. And yeah, we're going to get a little bit more progressive. And then they take the football away just like fucking Lucy and Charlie Brown every fucking time. And I'm tired of seeing it. And I'm seeing the pattern after pattern after pattern after pattern of them doing this over and over and over again. And the fact that they fucking hate the left and they hate progressives, and the progressive takeover of the party failed. Okay. Progressive party, the progressive attempt to take over the party fucking failed. So there was that part. And then the straw that really broke the camel's back, so to speak. I don't know. Is that a problematic saying? Are we not supposed to say that anymore? I don't even know where that comes from. But anyway, the straw that broke the camel's back was the genocide. Because to me, it kind of took the mask off the whole thing. I think there was an element where I was getting fear-mongered into thinking like, yes, I know, but the lesser of two evils, you have to vote for the lesser of two evil. I know the Democrats suck. I know they're liars. I know they do the Lucy in the football routine every time. I know that they fucking hate the progressives and they always are moving to the right, but Trump. And so there was that element of fear-mongering that was still kind of weighing on me a little bit. But then it was like the genocide was like the last fucking straw. I'm like, it kind of took like the rest of the veneer, I feel like, off of it, where I was like, lesser of two evils, how? Like, you people are fucking evil. This is not though the one that I wanted to.
Who's David Hogg? David Hogg is.
It was the one where he was on. Oh, I was hoping it was a video. It was the one where he was on Chris Cuomo.
Her fundraising numbers, saying she's raised $9.5 million in the first quarter of the year, which is huge.
That's a lot of money.
Amount of money.
AOC has returned yet again to be, at least right now, what appears to
That's all they care about is how much money they raise, Lamau.
be the future of the Democratic Party. Julie, I don't know if you would disagree.
I agree. I agree with you, actually.
But from our vantage point as Republicans, we would love that, because I think most American voters, especially those who self-identify as independents, are probably to the center of the left or to the center of the right. They're not.
So this is belied by the data. Like, it really is belied by the data. Like, they always love to say that. Like, oh, they would love if AOC ran because she's so radical left. She's really not. She's basically a sock dem. She's not radical left at all by any fucking stretch of the imagination. But I feel like the right always says that to lie because they want to fearmonger the Democrats, which always works, of course. Because there's nothing in the data that shows that AOC has unpopular positions. Like, the regular positions that she has are not unpopular. So when they say shit like this, we would love for AOC to be the national spokesperson. It's totally made up.
Extremist progressives. And so if the Democratic Party want to go down that path, I think it's going to bode well for Republicans in terms of our electoral success.
All right. Well, let me tell you why AOC is doing so well. And it's not because...
Do you agree with her, Julie?
No, actually, I don't agree with her on a lot of things, but I will tell you why people support AOC, including me at the moment, because unlike other Democrats, she's taking the fight to Trump. And that is what Democrats want right now. And the bottom line is, it doesn't really matter whether you agree with her in the Green New Deal, whatever other policies she has. She and Bernie Sanders, with whom I also don't agree on policy all the time, are the ones who are out there taking the fight to Trump in ways that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are not.
Is there any worry that those ideas could define your party
listen,
at all?
As opposed to the ideas that define the Republican Party at the moment, I'll take their ideas versus Donald Trump's ideas any day of the week. And so will most Republicans. She's raising money from people right now who probably don't even know what her policy views are, but they see that she's going out there and she's taking the fight to him. And that's what
Also, she got votes from people in her district that voted for Trump. So I know that they say things a lot like, oh, well, she lives in a Democratic plus 30 district and she's just in blue New York. But like there were a lot of people in her district that voted for her and voted for Trump. So they literally are just making this up when they go, oh, we would love for AOC to be the face of the party because she's so radical left. She's not fucking radical left at fucking all. At fucking all. Like, it's so made up. They only say that because they're so ridiculously over the top right wing that to them she's like fucking, Mao, but like not even fucking close. Like, it's so ridiculous. She's literally just like a sock dam.
Democrats are
let me just introduce James Carville into this conversation because he had some things to say about progressives that I think will get on a lot of people's nerves. But listen to what he had to say.
Maybe we could have a kind of amicable split here, and we'll go to post in 2026 because you don't ever run. They never run against a Republican. Okay, all they do is run against other Democrats. I don't quite understand why you're so anxious to have the word Democrat in the description of what you do, but maybe we can have a amicable split here.
Oh yeah, he's right. They shouldn't because actually the Democratic label is toxic as fuck. So maybe they should drop it.
And you go your way, and we go our way, and after the election, we come together and see how much common ground we can find.
He's talking there about progressives.
Look, I think that if we are going to be the party that criticizes Donald Trump around his policies on diversity and equity and inclusion, we as a party need to stand for diversity, equity, and inclusion. We need to bring diverse voices to the table. We should be focused on the future, and that means a lot of different opinions and a lot of soul searching that we have to do. The Republican.
No, I think in this case, Carville's right. They should break up. They should break up.
Party has a different thing. They have a
because when they say big tent, they never mean the left. They mean big tent for right wingers like Liz Cheney and lunatic Zionists.
Perspective view. Make America great again is a fundamental belief that the past was better than the future. If you're going to look at the future being better than the past, you're going to have these conversations. So to be honest, I don't think that comment's particularly helpful. I think there's a lot of soul searching to do, but to dunk on progressives when they are bringing so much energy right now in red states and blue states would be a huge mistake.
Let me just add to that because I think you're so right on this. With all due respect, and I respect James Carville a lot, but I think he's dead wrong here because the people who are not doing what they're supposed to be doing is the establishment wing of the Republican Party. They're not bringing the energy. God bless Chuck Schumer, him standing there waving whatever he was,
Freudian slip. She called him the establishment wing of the Republican Party. She's talking about Democrats. Freudian slip. But I love how, again, it's always, you guys notice there's always so much deference. There's always so much deference. It's all like, oh my gosh, God bless Chuck Schumer. God bless Chuck Schumer. We understand. We respect James Carville so much. Like, why all the deference, bitch? We don't need to give them deference. Like, fuck them.
The Hill the other day is not what people are looking for right now. And it's exactly the people that James Carville is dunking on right now who are out there, who are holding these town halls, who are holding these rallies. And people are...
Again, which is why they probably should split off and set their own party because James Carville is not alone. A lot of Democrats in the establishment feel the way he does. They fucking hate them. So why not break off? Like, that's why I'm saying, like, he's right that they should break off because the Democrats fucking hate AOC and Bernie Sanders and anybody to the left of Amy Klobuchar. So why are you raising money for them? Why are you bringing energy to them? Because that's where this energy that Bernie and AOC are raising, this energy that they're generating, it's just going to go back into the Democratic Party. Why? Why are you raising this energy just to funnel it back into the Democratic Party, the same party that hates you? The Democratic Party is a pathetic loser shell party that is fucking hollow and full of corpses. Okay? That's all it is. It's a old, decrepit, hollowed out fucking party full of 100-year-olds that can't fucking get with the times and constantly punch left and punch down. Instead of punching right, They're punching left and punching down. Total fucking losers.
Responding, including people in the establishment like me, who's worked for establishment candidates my whole life, who all of a sudden is like, you know what? Maybe these people have a point because they're the ones who are going to get selected in 2 years.
Yeah, you want to talk about James Carville's like they never learn anything. They never learn anything. You want to talk about not learning anything? You guys never learn that like to me, it's just the amazing nerve that you could say that after you just lost 2024. Like the fact that James Carville is telling them that they need to learn something and reflect. That they need to learn something and reflect as you bitches lose and lose and lose and lose and lose some more. Lose and lose and lose and lose some more. And even when people are voting for Democrats, it is not often because they actually fucking like you bitches. You think that people voted for Joe Biden because they liked him? No. It like reminds me of how a lot of right-wing conspiracy theorists will be like, Joe Biden, there's no way he won 81 million votes. It's like, yeah, there is. You underestimate how much people hate Trump. You know how many millions of people during the 2020 election voted for Joe Biden just to get rid of Trump, not because we liked him? I was one of those people. I did not like Joe Biden. I was mad about the primary and felt like Bernie got cheated again. But I still voted for Joe Biden in 2020 because I was so tired of Trump. I was tired of the chaos. I was tired of the disastrous way that he was running the country, the way that he botched the COVID pandemic. You know, we're in our houses. It was very scary in 2020 because of the pandemic, especially here in New York. I wanted his ass gone. People underestimate that. They think, oh, like right-wingers think, oh, nobody voted for Joe Biden. That must be a conspiracy or a lie. No, we did. We did because we hated Trump. That's why. But then the Democrats took that as, oh, they really love our ideas. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We just wanted to get the fuck rid of Trump. See, all I'm seeing is the photo. I'm not seeing the actual video. I'm looking for the clip of him on News Nation. Oh, do we have it?
The Democratic National Committee. He is the vice chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and he's running against somebody sued David Hogg. He's an officer of the Democratic National Committee. He is the vice chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and he's running against other Democrats. I would like to know, and you went to law school, does he have a fiduciary duty toward Democrats? If you work for News Nation, you can't promote CNN. That's if you work for somebody else. You have a fiduciary duty to your employer, which anybody can understand. He's being paid to run against other Democrats. I think it's outrage. I don't know if I have standing, but I might give the DNC $10 and sue him. He's a contemptible little twerp. If you
sue his ass, Jim. I'll have you on the show to talk about it.
Contemptible little twerp. They hate them.
He's an officer.
Started right on this show.
Amazing.
As I said, maybe they need to split off from the Democratic Party and call themselves a socialist, I don't know, urbanist, central city.
But you know why they're doing it. They look at MAGA, and they did what we see all the time when you don't have better minds and better ideas. This is why you were so transcendent in politics, is that
he's such a fucking ass kisser. Chris Cuomo is so embarrassing. What an ass licker. Like, he's like, that's why we don't have the reason, James Carville, why you were so amazing and transcendent in politics 40 fucking years ago. That's why we don't have better minds. And then he compares them to MAGA, which is so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. This is low IQ, P-brain analysis to be like, they're just blue. They're the blue version. They're blue MAGA. The blue MAGA is like the libs, bro. It's like the establishment Democrats. But him saying, oh, they're just like MAGA, the AOCs and the Bernies. No, that's so low IQ. What a kiss ass.
And I always find it so cheap when people say, oh, Jim Carville, oh, yeah, it's the economy, stupid. No. That wasn't your genius. Your genius was, I'm not going to be what beats me. What you see with Bernie and AOC right now is MAGA playbook. MAGA playbook. Make the masses angry. Dave Hogg, that's MAGA playbook.
MAGA playbook to make the masses angry? How is actually calling out what is happening in the country and understanding people's rightful rage doing the MAGA playbook? And David Hogg's doing the MAGA playbook because he wants there to be better people running. This is so embarrassing. This is so fucking out of touch. Endlessly out of touch. This is what happens when you're a Nepo baby like Chris Cuomo. Endlessly out of touch.
Playbook. Go after your own and have a purity test. But what beats you, you become that, you're not going to.
That's not having a purity test. Saying that you want to run people that actually represent the views that the Democratic Party claims to have that aren't 570 years old is not a purity test. Do the progressives have purity tests often? Yes. Does the left have a problem with purity testing? Yes. That's true. But that's not what this is. That's not what this is. This is such shit analysis. Holy shit.
Going to beat it.
Well, I don't think that most of the Democrats are that. And maybe we need to have a schedule. Maybe we can form a governing coalition. You know, this happens every time in football and anything. But you come in, you say, okay, you want to be part of our coalition. But when they spend all their time running against us, why don't somebody sue David Hogg? He's an officer of the Democratic National Committee. He is the vice chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and he's running against other Democrats. I would like to know, when you went to law school, does he have a fiduciary duty toward Democrats? If you work for News Nation, you can't promote CNN. That's if you work for somebody else. You have a fiduciary duty to your employer, which anybody can understand. He's being paid to run against other Democrats. I think it's an outrage. I don't know if I have standing, but I might give the DNC $10 and sue him. He's a contemptible little twerp. If you
sue his ass, Jim. I'll have you on the show to talk about it.
I don't know if I have standing, but somebody got standing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And he's this mad over the idea that the Democratic Party actually do something. That's what he's mad about. He's mad about the idea that they're like, hey, maybe the Democrats should, like, I don't know, do something. Like, actually do what they claim they are.
Present a prayer from the President of the United States.
He's such a creep. Mike Huckabee is a genocidal, lunatic, Christian Zionist, now over in the Israeli regime doing propaganda on behalf of Trump for Easter, I assume, since it's Good Friday, and ignoring the fact that Christians are often persecuted there. Which is a perfect segue into Rumble. We're going to switch to Rumble now because I want to watch some of the abuses that happen in the Israeli regime of Christians when they go there. So I'll see you all over there if you want to join. Watch the last part of here. But if you don't, that's cool too. Love you all. We're going to do the last half hour on Rumble today. And we're going to talk about this. Talk about Good Friday and how Christians are treated there. All right. So if I don't see you over there, love you. Free Palestine. Don't forget to subscribe to all my channels. Don't forget to support me on Ko-Fi and Patreon if you're able to. And yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. You know, I just realized I didn't have my little background here this whole time. What happened to my little background? Where is my background? There it is. I just realized that my background hadn't been on this whole fucking time. Anyway, see you guys there, and happy Friday. Happy Easter, everybody. See you in like 5 minutes.